Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. Great game last night, man.
How are you doing?
Now you see why Yoke gonna be the MVP, right, Skip?
All I know is your Lakers have a cakewalk tonight.
There you go.
My Clippers have a tightrope walk tonight. It is judgment night for one LA team.
The Suns are the 2 seed. Y'all playing the 5 seed. How is it a cakewalk for you, for us, and the tightrope for you?
Because it's CP0 tonight.
Already Judgment Day. Okay, yes, we will get to the Lakers. We will get to the Clippers. I promise you that. But this guy, Aaron Rodgers, right before we went to bed last night, he had plenty to say, and we got to talk about it. Rodgers did not show up to the Packers' organized team activities, but we have finally heard from the quarterback in an interview. The Green Bay QB said, quote, anything is on the table at this point. And then he continued to open up the most we've heard him talk about his situation with the team. Take a listen for yourself.
It's never been about the draft picking Jordan. I love Jordan. He's a great kid. He a lot of fun to work together. I love the coaching staff, love my teammates. I love the fan base in Green Bay. It's incredible 16 years. It's just kind of about a philosophy, and maybe forgetting that it is about the people that make the thing go. It's about character. It's about culture. It's about doing things the right way. And a lot of this was put in motion last year, and the wrench was just kind of thrown into it when I won MVP and played the way I played last year. So this is just kind of, I think, the spill out of all that. But look, man, it is about the people, and that's the most important thing. Green Bay has always been about the people.
A lot of talk about the people. I was trying to figure this one out. Shannon, help me. What do you make of what he said?
And it doesn't take much for me to figure this out. This relationship seems beyond repair. Skip, he mentioned a lot of people, but he didn't mention the general manager. He didn't mention the CEO, Mark Murphy, or the DM, Brian Gutekunst. Skip, he said I saw the way this was playing out, but a monkey wrench got thrown into the situation when I won the MVP. He said, I saw what they were doing. Everybody else saw what they were doing. But when I won the MVP, all of a sudden, Skip, he said the philosophy. You know what the philosophy is? Is that y'all don't consult a player of my ilk about some of the things that you're going to do. Now, this was a chain of events that started. I believe the quarterback was maybe the straw that broke the camel's back. But this was a chain of events, a series of events that started. Alex Van Pelt, his position coach, the quarterback coach, was fired. You mentioned Kumaro. They let him go. Skip, another one of his favorite receivers was Jeff Janis, the guy they called the Hail Mary against the Cardinals. The Jordy Nelson situation. There seems to be a lot of things that no one consulted Aaron Rodgers. And when you're dealing, and look, people, I get it. Aaron Rodgers is the guy they never consulted Tom Brady. But when you're dealing with guys like Aaron Rodgers, and the more accomplished or acclaimed a player is, especially if he plays that position, you might want to consult with him. Skip, and Mike Holmgren laid it out abundantly clear. He said he would have never got to that. He said, I called Aaron in and says, Aaron, this is the direction that we're going in. And now we might have to address it if he's still upset, but at least I give him the heads up. But listening at him talk, he's very matter of fact. He seems uninterested at any point in time of going back to Green Bay. He seems uninterested of mending any fences with the two guys that are the decision makers, CEO Mark Murphy and GM Brian Gutekunst. So for me, it's abundantly clear how he feels. He's content with moving on. He seems to want to move on. He mentioned 16 years, and he cut it off, Skip. Ain't nothing about moving forward. 17, 18, 16 years. It was great, my 16 years. Mentioned nothing about going on. So for me, it seems that Aaron Rodgers is resigned to the fact that I'm going to be playing elsewhere. And y'all need to become resigned to the fact that I'm going to be going elsewhere. Because I know deep down what you wanted to do. You wanted me to play just one more year, and then because I got no more guaranteed money, you could ceremoniously let me go. But guess what? I won the MVP, and now I control all the cards again. I just don't see how it works, Skip. Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem interested in repairing this relationship.
And all that our viewers just heard came from Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe, who was a Denver Bronco for the most part of his career. And he would love to see Aaron Rodgers become Denver Broncos quarterback next year.
I mean, I wouldn't fight it.
You wouldn't fight it. And by the way, there was a report that just, last week, Aaron Rodgers played golf with John Elway, who happens to be the overseer of the Denver Broncos.
They did?
I don't know. It smells like tampering to me.
They ain't no tampering, man. It's a public golf course. They just happen to be members at the same course.
Okay. Oh, they do? Really?
No, I don't know that. I just made that. I don't know, Skip.
My biggest takeaway is that Aaron Rodgers is a piece of work. He is a brilliant media manipulator, a master media manipulator, to the point that he said a whole lot without really saying anything. There was nothing dramatic or definitive in anything he said. Did he say, I want out?
Right.
Did he say, I want in? Did he say, I'm going to be a Packer for life? Or did he say, I will not be a Packer next year? He didn't say any of that.
But I think, Skip, you know what he was saying is that if you listen to Brian Gutekunst's talk and some of Mark Murphy saying, they made it seem like there was no issue going on with Aaron Rodgers. And from him talking, there's an abundance of issues going on, and they have not been resolved because he keeps saying philosophically.
Okay. I thought he was very cryptic in what he said, but he was cryptically brilliant in what he said, cryptically effective, because he has the whole NFL nation buzzing about what did he say or not say. And it came across as a non-demand demand, because there's demand between the lines, but you got to read all between the lines.
Yes.
So I took this as a DM, as in direct message, straight to Mark Murphy, who does oversee the Packers.
Yes.
He effectively operates, does Mark Murphy, as the owner of the Packers.
Correct.
Sort of the Jerry Jones of the Packers.
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct.
They are publicly owned.
Right.
But he is commissioned to be the buck stops on his desk,
yes,
right?
That is correct.
So this was a direct message to me, to Mark Murphy, that, hey, I threw a big wrench in your plans. It's called the MVP. And now it's advantage me.
Yep.
And just as you called me after you hired young Matt LaFleur without consulting me whatsoever, and you told me infamously, as it was reported by Bleacher Report, don't you be the problem. I am now your biggest problem. I am the biggest thorn in your side, and now you're going to have to kneel down in front of me and kiss my golden tail, because I am a living legend in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I want to be treated. He named off he went back to Lombardi. He mentioned Bart Starr. He mentioned Farvey, as he called it. Farvey? It's now come to this. It's Farvey, as in Brett Favre. And he mentioned he called him the Minister of Defense, who is obviously Reggie White. So he says, I belong in that company. Now you need to treat me like I belong in that company, because that's who the Packers are. That's what we stand for. Living legends, monuments on the field.
It's not about the CEO. It's not about the general manager. It's about the players.
Okay. So I took this as a demand that the GM, Brian Gutekunst, is gone. And I would make that a package deal. I don't think he's sold on young Matt LaFleur either, because what happened on 1st and goal at the 8, incomplete. And then on 4th down, the young coach said, I give up. I've seen enough. We kicked the field goal. And obviously Aaron Rodgers has not let that one go. Am I right?
Right.
Okay. So to me,
but he did win the MVP under LaFleur, Skip. So I think that gives him a little. I
don't know, but that's Gutekunst's guy.
Right.
You know, they're joined at the hip.
Correct.
So I'm just not so sure that he's sold on him either, because he was forced on Aaron.
Right.
Aaron sort of had to grit his teeth and sort of grin and bear young LaFleur. I think he considers himself much smarter than LaFleur, and as he sees LaFleur gain more and more power and sort of stature in the organization, I don't think he loves that either. That's just me.
I guess Rodgers say Kyrie, I really don't need no coach. You know, I coach.
Well, that is a fact.
I'm so good, you know, I really don't need you, bro.
So what have we seen this whole offseason? It has been Aaron Rodgers' mission over America to stick it back to the pack. Am I right? because through ex-players and even current players that he's friends with,
Right.
he has dropped hints into the media about, I want out, or else, you know,
Right.
I need this changed or that changed. I need Gutekunst gone or whatever.
Right.
Hint after hint after hint has been dropped through his sources, who would be his teammates, ex-teammates. Okay, so we saw that. Then we saw him audition for Jeopardy and make a big public play out of, I want to replace Alex Trebek permanently, right? I want to be the new permanent host of Jeopardy, and I can do both, which I think is insane because I don't think you can be both, at least do well at both, because as you know, playing franchise quarterback, it's 365.
Skip, all it's going to do is take 46 days after the season.
But again, I thought that was just daring the Packers. I dare you. I dare you, because I'm going to do this if you don't do that for me. And then I just mentioned the John Elway golf, so that's just another one. And then we had the video. And trust me, Aaron Rodgers knows exactly what video is going to get leaked or posted.
Right.
And it was supposed to be, the first day of OTAs.
Right.
And he has traditionally shown up for all the OTAs.
He got 500,000 workout bonus, 500K.
Okay, so
and normally they pick that up. That's easy. I go work out, do a little lifting weights, meet a little bit. I get that little easy money.
I got it. But yesterday, he didn't show up for OTAs for the first time. I guess it's the first time in his career. He said it was reported that he's always there.
Yeah, I get that little money. Yeah.
And yet, where was he? Somehow video gets posted of him celebrating. It looked like he was at a wedding or something in Hawaii with Shailene Woodley. Right?
Yeah.
Miles Teller. They acted together in The Spectacular Now, if you saw that in 2013, and so they must be still very close friends. So it was Miles and his wife, and Aaron and Shailene, and they're just having a big old good old time, right?
Yeah, it's the off season.
It kind of looked like they'd had a couple of sleeves. Is that what you call it? Sleeves of tequila, right? It just kind of looked like it because they were having fun.
I mean, look at got the hair growing back. Yeah, you got
the hair slicked back, and boy, they're just dancing the night away.
Yeah.
Way to go, Aaron. And this hits social media on the day of OTAs. You don't think that was carefully plotted?
Yep, I know. You remember there was another guy that did something very similar. You remember when the Patriots were having OTAs and Tom Brady was in Qatar? Oh, no, he was in Morocco. And he was on the back of a camel. Everybody said, Tom Brady never misses. That was the first sign, Skip.
Maybe.
That was the first sign. He's like, okay, I'm about to get up out of here.
Except that's a guy who wins Super Bowls. And I just need to put this back in context, your favorite word.
What?
Aaron Rodgers is 7-8 in the postseason since his long ago Super Bowl.
No, but I was just correlating, Skip.
Okay.
Is that Tom Brady always showed up for OTAs. He never missed off-season conditioning. This was the first time that all of a sudden, in the video of him on the camel or him in Morocco would happen to get posted the very day his teammates are doing OTAs or mini caps or something like that nature.
Okay, but remember what was happening at that point. He'd even thrown for a playoff record 505 in that Super Bowl against the Eagles, and they lost 41 to 33. 41. Wait a second. Nick Foles hung 41 on Belichick.
And guess what,
with no
Skip?
Malcolm Butler in the lineup.
He just won the MVP almost unanimously.
Okay.
And he normally shows up. And they say this is probably the first time that he hasn't.
Does he show up in the postseason? Not really.
I still take it.
Will you?
Oh, yeah. Everybody else will think that.
This is the man who is 1-4 now in NFC championship games. This is the man who just recently, last I saw in a championship game, had a home one on the frozen tundra at Lambeau Field. And speaking of Tom Brady, he lost to Tom Brady because he stunk up the fourth quarter.
Skip, there are not very many teams that wouldn't throw their quarterback overboard to get that guy. There's only a handful of teams that wouldn't do it.
He's 37 years of age, and I've been seeing stories lately that maybe his market price that he could bring would not be as high as you think it would be, that teams wouldn't fall all over each other to get him.
I mean, at that age, Skip, I mean, the likelihood of you... Now, if you're 25, you talk about a different story, but you talk about a guy 37. So I still believe he'll command the first round, maybe a first and a second round draft pick.
Maybe. But the point is, I've told you what I would love to see happen. Again, I've heard that they, through our man Lil Wayne, that they do like Jordan Love. And he said nice things about Jordan Love. He said he's a great kid, right?
Well, Skip, I've been hearing like they saying that the kid has a long way to go. Well, you got a long way to go. September ain't that long. It's not that far away.
Once upon a time, Aaron Rodgers had a long way to go because it took him 3 years to be ready to replace Favre. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's 1 year of Jordan Love. I don't know. I've never even seen him really play. I've seen the highlights.
The man was never active. So how you Skip? You go from not being active one game, not dressing for one game, to all of a sudden you're the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, also known as Title Town. That's where you go. So you feel comfortable with that, Mark Murphy, Brian Gutekunst? Because you brought this on yourself. You see, now all of a sudden, a problem that could have been prevented. Skip, your pipes would have never burst. They tell you when it starts to freeze, you let it drip a little bit. But what you do, you turn it completely off and the pipes burst. So now you're trying to clean up a mess that you could have prevented. You could have prevented this. Now sit back and just hope and pray that Aaron Rodgers doesn't leave you high and dry, which he more than 90% probably will, because he does not like the general manager.
So for the 4 seasons ahead of last season, Aaron Rodgers' stats fell precipitously. And that was QBR and completion percentage fell each of 4 straight years. And again, they were 1-3 because they'd gotten blown off the field in the NFC Championship game at San Francisco, and Aaron really stunk that one up. So did everybody. So did the team. So did the defense.
They thought he felt so bad, so don't draft a quarterback. Go ahead and release Aaron Rodgers. Let him go. You could have done that. If they didn't think Aaron Rodgers could play, not only would they have drafted a quarterback, they would have let Aaron Rodgers go. Why didn't they let him go? So if you think his numbers are dropping, why you want to hold on to him now? Oh, because you believe he's more like the MVP we saw last year or the previous 4 years? Which do you think they believe? Because they wouldn't be trying to move heaven and earth to get him. Why they flying back and forth? Who flies cross country to kiss somebody's butt? I wish I might, but that's what they've been doing. Now all of a sudden, he's like, oh, what you've been saying? Well, Aaron, your last 4 years, okay, my last 4 years hadn't been the best. Okay, so why y'all at my doorstep? I'm talking through the ring cam. I ain't answered the door. I'm talking to them. Why y'all here? Remember, y'all said my stats were dropping. You took a quarterback in the first round. You traded up to get him. You got rid of my quarterback coach and Alex Van Pelt. I never forgave him for that. You didn't sign Jordy Nelson and Jeff Janis and Kumaro. So why y'all at my door? Why you trespassing? Get off my property.
I still believe Aaron Rodgers wants to be the Packers quarterback till death do them part, so to speak.
Nah.
I believe that. And I believe he wants a 3-year, big guaranteed top.
Well, you don't have to give him $50 million. I mean, you're talking about 3 years at $50 million a year.
He wants a guarantee that Jordan Love will be sitting and waiting for the next 3 years.
Well, Skipper, you get a man $100 million for guarantee. He gonna be sitting for the next 3 years.
So I believe that's what he wants. I do not believe he wants the pressure of having to start over this late in life. And
if you're that guy, if you that guy, Skip.
Well, are you that guy?
Yeah, he that guy. He that dude.
7-8 in the playoffs since that long ago Super Bowl. In Titletown, it's been 10 years since they've had a title.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that's been great that hasn't won it. The guy won the MVP. You saw him. You saw what he did last year, Skip. Don't pretend you didn't see that.
I saw him lose 38-10 at Tom Brady right in the middle of the season.
Yes.
I don't know. He stunk it up. He almost threw 2 straight pick sixes. One got knocked out of bounds at the 1.
But so Tom Brady, all 16 games, Tom Brady was flawless.
No, he wasn't flawless, but he did grade 2nd overall for the whole regular season by Pro Football Focus.
Skip, well, anytime I grade my tests, I always gave myself an A.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, anytime you self-grade. Yeah, Pro Football Focus. Man, come on, Skip.
They're not self-grading.
Yeah, no. Tom Brady did not play better than my homeboy.
Okay. Well, I would love to see Green Bay call his bluff and just go ahead and trade him and see how he likes it in Denver.
Yeah, he'll love it.
Yeah, would he?
Yeah, you know what paid. Hold on. Name the great quarterbacks that got traded to Denver that didn't go to the Super Bowl. Start with Craig Morton in '77. Where did he go? He lost to the Cowboys because he turned the ball over 8 times, but that's neither here nor there. John Elway, he got traded to the Broncos. He went to 5. Peyton Manning got traded to the Broncos. He went to 2-1-1. Elway won 2. And now, man, that's what we do, Skip. If you're a quarterback, you get traded to the Broncos, you're going to the Super Bowl. Within your first 2 years.
Really?
Book it.
Book it?
Book it.
Wow, I'd like to get some due on that.
Well, babe, if that's a good prop bet, box bet, take something on that.
Really?
Yeah.
All I know is that this master media manipulator has brilliantly turned the tables on Mark Murphy to the point that he's now got Packer Nation groveling at his feet saying, please come back, Aaron. Please don't go. Please take a big new contract.
Yeah,
instead.
exactly. So
right?
if the fans, so who you think the fans want? Brian Gutekunst, who they never see, don't know. Mark Murphy, who they never see, don't know. Or Aaron Rodgers, who should have a statue besides Lombardi and Starr and Favre and Reggie, the Minister of Defense, rest his soul, Reggie White.
Trust me. The smart Packer fans, the ones who are plugged in, they know exactly how bad Aaron Rodgers has been in all 5 NFC championship games he played in, because the one he won was against Caleb Haney in Chicago when Aaron stunk up the second half and barely survived. Go look it up because they know it. So there's going to be a split in Packer Nation. Some are going to be saying, I don't know.
And the really smart Packer fans remember what it was like when Bart Starr retired until they got Bart Starr retired until they got Brett Favre. They know what those years were like. That 20-plus years there, they know what that was like. And you don't normally have this happen. You don't normally have 2 historically great quarterbacks succeed each other. You had Favre and then you have Rodgers. You had Montana, you have Steve Young. It doesn't normally go there. It doesn't normally play out that way. But guess what? Mark Murphy, y'all need to do something. Y'all need to do. He said, y'all need to do something to make me feel better. Right now, I don't feel good. And it's because of you, Brian Gutekunst. As a matter of fact, when I look at you, I feel nauseous. Yeah, that's what he say.
He called him Jerry Krause, but that would mean that Aaron is comparing himself to Michael Jordan.
No, that's not what he did. Michael Jordan said Jerry Krause thought it was about the organization, because remember what he said? He said organizations win championships. Michael Jordan in his Hall of Fame speech says, I don't remember an organization having 102-degree fever and getting out there and playing. That was the players. That's what Aaron Rodgers. You keep trying to do that. That's not what he's saying. He's not comparing himself to Michael Jordan. He's saying general managers that think it's about them and think it's about the organization, it's about the players on the field, because Brian Gutekunst, he can't catch, tackle, or throw. Mark Murphy can do none of those. He can probably tackle because I think he was a DB at Washington football team. So don't do that.
He was a good one.
I remember. I remember.
So you're saying that Aaron Rodgers is in the ballpark with Michael Jordan? That's what you're suggesting, that he qualifies for a quote like that.
Skip, I said he was comparing Jerry Krause, who said it's about the organization, to Brian Gutekunst, who believes it's about the organization, not about the players. So let me ask you a question. What happened to Jerry Krause when Michael Jordan went away? It's the same organization. Jerry Reinsdorf at the top, Jerry Krause, and so forth and so on. Nothing else changed. They took one guy away. What happened?
I was there. I covered the team.
They got Tim Floyd. Well, Tim Floyd didn't have Michael Jordan. He
had coached at Iowa State.
Exactly.
Period. End of story. Right?
You getting rid of a guy that won 6 championships in 8 years, and for a guy that hadn't even won the Big Ten, whatever they was, Big 12, they was Big 10 probably, Big 12. They hadn't won a Big 12 title. So that's what you ran off. You ran off. So what you're doing, you're running off a guy that got 3 MVPs. He does have that Super Bowl on his resume. He has been to those 4 NFC championship games. You're running him off what? Because of your ego and you want to say that we're in charge here? Okay. I want you to be in charge. Do it your way. Go right ahead.
Congratulations, Aaron Rodgers. You just got Gutekunst fired, and I believe Matt LaFleur fired. That's what I believe.
They ain't got nobody fired.
I don't know. This Aaron Rodgers situation, we are not going to figure it out right this moment, so we're going to leave it for now. No mercy. All right, LeBron and the Lakers are back in action tonight as they hope to avoid falling down 0-2 to the Suns. Both LeBron and Anthony Davis will be looking to bounce back after disappointing performances game 1 of the series. And after practice yesterday, Frank Vogel said that he plans on treating LeBron as if he's healthy when it comes to playing time moving forward. So with that in mind, Shannon, who wins and what is the score tonight?
Well, Skip, I don't want to make this, let's not overcomplicate this. Anthony Davis and LeBron James cannot get outscored by Devin Booker. Anthony Davis cannot get outplayed by DeAndre Ayton. The Lakers, a bigger of the 2 teams, cannot get out-rebounded by the Phoenix Suns. 75% of the 50-50 balls that could go either way, the Lakers need to be on top of them and come away with them. You are the I get it that you're favored. You're the lower of the seeds for a reason. Now, obviously, it had a lot to do with injuries. AD missed a half of the season. LeBron missed a third or quarter of the season. So we get that. But you are where you are. I expect those two guys to play better. I'm expecting, you know what I'm expecting, Skip. Yeah, the Beatles and Sullivan. I'm expecting something of that nature from Goat Jane.
Nobody knows the Beatles.
Yeah, you know the Beatles. You do.
I do.
I'm expecting.
I'm surprised you do.
I'm expecting what do I call it, Jenny? What's that word? Virtuoso. Yes. Yes.
Pavarotti at Melbourne.
Yes,
Sydney,
the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah.
You remember that performance?
Yeah,
that's
I was
what
there.
That's what I'm expecting. Anthony Davis and LeBron James, I'm expecting greatness tonight. And when I expect greatness from those two guys, they don't normally disappoint. So I expect I'm expecting probably about 60, I'm going to say 55 to 65 between the two of them. Probably, LeBron going to get them assist up because he figured them out. I got to feel out what y'all want to do, how y'all talking. Skip, that's sometimes what you do. You go to a party and you sit back. Okay, it's a chill party. Okay, I'm going to chill. Okay, you go to the party, that thing rowdy, body. Okay, I'm right up in it. Figure them out game one. Y'all not going to send a double team. I'm about to punish Jay Crowder. I'm about to punish Mikal Bridges. AD, Crowder, you know how I gave it to you in the bubble. You know what I do. I'm going to go back to doing that. So for me, Skip, I got the Lakers at a very close ball game. I'm going to take them 110 to 104 over the Phoenix Suns to tie this series, go back home on Thursday, and then we're going to take a 2-1 lead. But AD is going to be the key. AD needs to play like I know AD can play. We're not shooting no jumpers over Jay Crowder. We're going to get his butt down on the block. Too little. You too little.
Okay. So the problem with Pavarotti is you can't ask him to sing "She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain When She Comes." Do you understand? Because that's what's going to happen tonight. This is like a silly song that he's going to be asked to be singing.
Oh, you taking the Suns there? I take it.
No, I'm taking the Lakers in a cakewalk because all you need to know is that the Lakers were 2.5-point underdogs in Sunday's game 1.
Yes, they were.
They lost by 9, and all of a sudden they are 2-point favorites. Say what?
You know.
That's a 4.5-point swing, and it is simply because Chris Paul is a right-handed player who will be restricted to playing mostly with his left hand.
Right.
And you know and I know what's about to happen. The Lakers will double off Chris Paul onto Devin Booker. That they will force the ball out of Book's hands.
They should.
They will force him to take nothing but impossibly difficult shots. And the Phoenix offense will be even more limited than it was in Sunday's fourth quarter when they managed to score all of 18 points and they still won the game by 9 points, which is completely, inexcusably impossible that the Lakers could let that happen. They held them to 18 points. Actually, Phoenix held itself to 18 points.
No, we did that.
If you do that times 4, that's 72 points for an NBA game.
We did that, and they're going to set screens on Chris Paul.
So, yeah, they'll rough him up. They'll knock him around.
Exactly. That's what we're going to do. For sure.
LeBron owes him for the cheap shot that he took.
Yep.
We get all that. So Phoenix managed to score a grand total of 99 points in game 1. And tonight, I think they'll be lucky to score 90 points. The Lakers are a very good defensive team. They're not a great one, but they're a good one.
We the best.
Okay, well, you did statistically rank the best. I don't think you played that way in the last couple of months.
Think about what we did, Skip. They did that without AD for half the season. They did that for LeBron James for about 28 games. So even without those games, they never dropped out of the top 5 as far as defense.
Okay. This is the best bet of the night. I got Lakers by at least 15. I got 105 to 90. I want some of this. If I were a betting man, I would be all over the Lakers tonight because Monty Williams said yesterday, Chris is still sore, quote unquote. Remember, Chris said, I heard a crack. You heard a crack? It's still a very mysterious injury to me.
You think you sore now? Wait till you come out the game. You're going to think you played a football game.
Okay.
Because we're going to run into you. We're going to, LeBron already saw how you're going to play this thing, Chris Paul. So right now, for the next however long this series goes, we're not friends. We're adversaries.
Okay, so Chris Paul said he heard a crack. They called it a contusion. I have no idea what happened to his shoulder. Did he have
got a stinger?
I don't know what happened, but he could not use his right arm, his right hand. He couldn't even dribble right-handed. He couldn't control the basketball. He was throwing up shots sideways and actually threw.
He hit one in.
He accidentally made one in the second half, and I don't know how he made it. But here we go again. It feels like same time next year. It feels like history is repeating from last year's bubble trouble that I went through with your Lakers, because what happened? They lost game 1 to Portland, and then pretty soon Dame got hurt. Remember that?
I know that, Skip. He got hurt in the last game. We had to
put second to last game. Okay, but it was still a series, and he got hurt, and then he was ineffective.
Yeah, they were down 20 when he got hurt.
All right, but the point was he did get hurt, and then Houston.
What happened with that one?
Pretty dominant in game 1, and guess what? Houston won game 1. That was with Russ and James obviously, there last year. And then right on schedule,
Danielle House.
Danielle House, he breaks the bubble rules. He gets caught, you know what, and he gets sent home, and they get sent reeling, and they lose 4 straight games. So you lose game 1, then 4 straight against Portland, lose game 1 to Houston, then 4 straight, and Houston just looks lost.
Well, ain't nobody tell him how that lady dressed up like a pizza delivery person and try to deliver pizza to his room.
There you go. That's what happened. And then what happens in game 1 of the NBA Finals? You draw the 5th seed, but the 5th seed has an injured leading scorer in the playoffs, Goran Dragic. He's gone, and he tries to come back later in the finals, and he's just a disaster.
Man, teams have had players injured in NBA Finals and the regular. And
who's the heart and soul of the Heat last year? Bam.
Yeah, okay.
And kabam, he's gone in game 1 and was never the same. Did you not get breaks in the finals?
Hold on.
Did Pat Riley not say in the offseason, if we'd been healthy, I'd like to see
Okay, well, you healthy now?
Yeah.
You down 0-2, you healthy now, Pat?
Yeah.
Okay, but what
looks like they've run into a buzzsaw.
But
if Milwaukee keeps making like 33s, I think they're going to win the championship.
Yeah, they keep. If they make another 10 or 11 in the first quarter, it's going to be hard to beat. But Skip, we know injuries are a part of this, and sometimes it's a war of attrition. Sometimes you look at Magic and Byron Scott hamstrings unravel. Isaiah got hurt in Game 6 after that performance, and then they lost Game 7. LeBron played the NBA Finals without Kevin Love, and Kyrie got hurt the first overtime game. But nobody seems to mention that. Only when LeBron, somebody from the opposing team that LeBron is playing, do they all of a sudden mention that. You didn't mention that when Kawhi won his title. Kevin Durant was already injured, and Klay Thompson got hurt. But they all Kawhi won it. Kawhi beat the Golden State Warriors. He beat a shell of the Golden State Warriors. You know that, but that's not what y'all do. But Paul LeBron, he got Dragic got hurt, and then right on cue, Bam got hurt, and then Danielle House got suspended, and Dame got hurt. You keep doing that. Stop that.
What happened in 2014 when your Heat got blown off the floor by a record finals margin? Were you hurt?
No. They just got skipped. They just got blown off. I was just like, they was making threes. I was like, there's no way they can continue to make threes like this for the entirety of a game, and they definitely can't do it for a series. And what did they do? They did it for the rest of the game, and they did it for the entirety of the series.
In 5.
Yeah, it happened, yes.
Okay, so now, who was it? Richard Jefferson, I think he tweeted that LeBron should look at CP3 the way he used to look at Steph, as in go at him, compete hard with him, forget about friendship,
That's what I said yesterday.
Right? Okay, well, now you're going hard at a one-armed man. I mean, there's no competition.
That's why I'm going to beat him. You shouldn't have did what you did. You had one arm when you tried to yank my arm down. So guess what? I'm going to hard-fire your ass back. I'm going to get you back.
Okay, fine. Here we go again with, I'm going to say this one more time, LeBron gets more passes than he throws, and he's still the best passer in basketball.
What passes he got now?
In the fourth quarter the other day, he was shockingly not there for your team. As Phoenix was scoring only 18 points, he goes 1 of 4, 0 of 3 from 3, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. He scores a grand total of 3 points, and he looks unplugged. He looks disengaged. He actually looked disinterested. Did you see him attack much? So he owes his team tonight's game, and I believe he will pay back tonight's game with a triple-double. I just believe he will because I don't think Jay Crowder can guard him. I don't think anybody on Phoenix can guard him if he cares, if he wants to go.
I want you to remember that now because next segment coming up, because there's another guy that played 8.5 minutes and was 1 for 4, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 0 for 2 from 3-point, and had 3 points in the fourth quarter. But we're going to talk about him next segment. So just remember that energy that you had about LeBron, about how he owes the Lakers, the guy that we're going to talk about the next segment, he owes his team. But back to our originally scheduled
program. Are you calling that other guy the GOAT and the best player on the planet?
Can we get back to our originally scheduled program?
Yes.
Which is the Lakers. Thank you. I don't worry about GOAT James. When was the last time you saw him have back-to-back bad games? Name the time. Name it.
I don't know.
Exactly. That's my point. And you don't forget nothing.
All I know is the GOAT, quote unquote, always needs a scapegoat. And right now it's Anthony Davis or AD as in A Disney, as in he can only play in the bubble.
No, actually the scapegoat is not AD. The scapegoat is Andre Drummond. Because anytime AD plays good, Drummond never gets mentioned. When AD plays bad, Drummond's clogging up the lane. But Drummond didn't clog up the lane when AD went 42, 12, 5, 3, and 3, and is the only Laker player to ever have a stat line like that. It wasn't Drummond clogging up the lane. When he went 38 and 16 against Portland, up in Portland, Drummond was on the court. Nobody mentioned anything about Drummond. But the moment AD's struggling because he's shooting too many jumpers. Okay, if it's not going, if I'm a deep passing team and I can't connect on the deep pass, let me shorten some of the routes up or let me try to run the football. Okay, AD, the shots weren't falling over Jay Crowder. Get your butt down on the block. Hey, tell Drummond to go get out of there. And drop step and throw that baby hook or shoot the look over the top of Crowder. Don't bail him out. I'm not gonna let you off the hook. If I get a fish, I'm not letting him go, Skip. That's the whole thing. I'm gonna hold him. Keep tension in the line. Make sure, let him tie himself out. Then I drag his butt to the shore. But I got something for you. I want you to have that same energy that you talking with today, talking sideways about LeBron and AD. Have that tomorrow.
Drummond is not a scapegoat. He's a scape penguin because he is the big penguin and he needs to be put on ice by Vogues, as in Frank Vogel. Put on ice.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
I want to see his minutes limited to 8 or 10 tonight. I want to see AD playing the quote-unquote 5. I want to see him as the center of attention, manning the lane, patrolling the lane on defense.
No.
He's the one who can guard Ayton. And what's Ayton saying now? I want to be certified as the best young two-way center in basketball. You do?
First of all.
Off one game one?
Thank you.
Really?
Bruh, stop. You're not even, bruh, you got a long ways to go.
Just
First of all,
2 weeks ago last night, I saw AD destroy Ayton.
Destroyed him.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to be nothing.
42 and 12.
He wanted to be the world's tallest magician because he disappeared in that game. Now all of a sudden, hocus pocus, he reappeared talking. I got 21 and 16. I want to be the best two-way big man. I want to be a great one young player. Bruh, stop.
Well, LeBron went Houdini the other night. Boy, he did the other day in Phoenix. He was just gone in the fourth quarter. Now you saw him. Now you didn't.
Okay. I bet you see him tonight.
You should.
Yeah.
You better.
Hey, stay back, answer your phone. Maybe when I call, answer your phone. Because you another would send me the voicemail, too.
I just predicted they're going to blow them out.
I don't want your prediction. Because I already know what you get. Because you do that. I know what you do.
It's look what the odds makers, they're screaming at you.
The odds makers ain't say nothing about no 15-point win.
I got it. It's the bet of the night. Best bet.
No, you slept.
You should put a little coin on this.
No, I ain't put no. Anything that you talk about, I ain't putting no coin on. You slept, Rock. You know about the Flintstones. We come around, things start falling out the sky, and people get. No, you bad luck.
You're down 40 cases of Diet Dew to
35.
And
35.
You wouldn't bet on anything I say?
35. I just won 5 on back because we went 5 and 2 down the stretch, like I told you.
How lucky were you to go 5 and 2 down the stretch? I had no idea Indiana was going to play nobody on that, what was it, Friday or Saturday night? Saturday night. And then the Pelicans were going to be the Skeletons in the final game, right? Final regular.
We 5 and 2. So 35.
Way to go.
I get them back before this playoffs over. I'll probably be down to nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I'll probably be down to nothing.
Okay. Well, I'll take the Lakers and I'll give you.
No, you ain't got to give me anything.
I'll give you 12 tonight.
Nope.
You want it?
I'm not betting against the Lakers. You know better. Okay. But your day coming. You keep on you keep on poking.
Unfortunately, my night is coming because this is judgment night for me.
How are we going to handle this? Lakers at 7, Clippers 7:30.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Back to back. I mean, how do you decipher what to watch more of?
Head
I know
head.
for Skip it's going to be, superstitious, no robe. Hazel will be there, right?
She will be there.
Okay. No
I will
robe
not be
for
wearing
Wayne.
that robe.
We learned that the hard way.
You gonna catch your L
Let's
regardless.
talk about that other game. Game 2 of the Clippers-Mavericks series tips off tonight in L.A., and the Clippers will be looking to do a better job of slowing down Luka Doncic, who went for 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists in the Game 1 win. Kawhi and Paul George will be looking to even up the series after the duo struggled shooting the ball, going 3 of 14 from 3 in Game 1. Shannon, who wins, and what is the score for this one?
I think this game is going to be close again. I still don't, even though, and Ty Lue is saying that Kawhi is going to take Luka the majority of the game. And even though I just don't see Kawhi as that same defensive player, because now he has to exert himself so much on the offensive end, Skip. I don't believe he's that great two-way player that he once was, especially before he got the injury in San Antonio. I took the Clippers in a very, very close ball game because it's going to come down to this. When they come trap Luka to get the ball out of his hands, can Tim Hardaway keep making shots like he made? Can Finney Smith make the shots that he made? We saw Josh Richardson chip in with a three-point. So they got good three-point. And Jalen Brunson, that lefty, hey, he can get to the paint damn near against anybody.
He closed for them.
He did. The thing that if the Mavericks can just keep this game close, because we already know the biggest front runners in all of the NBA is your Los Angeles Clippers. They'll start celebrating, and Paul George will start, put his arms out, and he'll start glide to the bench when the team calls the timeout, or he'll bag it up. He do all that beep, beep. And Pat Bell, he can't D up anybody. Yeah. They the biggest front runners. You know them.
You love to watch the Clippers.
You know they front runners.
You find them highly entertaining.
But if the Mavericks can just keep this game close, just keep it close to the fourth quarter, the last 5 minutes, we already know their execution, because all of a sudden, that anaconda-like pressure, it starts to squeeze the life, and all of a sudden, Paul George, and then Kawhi, the master of the mid-range. He's the closest thing to Michael Jordan in the mid-range.
Yep, he is.
Doink. So what I was supposed to do with that, Skip? A man played 8.5 minutes of the fourth quarter, had 3 points. Now, you told me, go LeBron, because when he first got there, it's a new sheriff in town. I got now. You know, that's their new slogan, I got now. This is Kawhi town.
Yep.
He got a little drop top, just stole LeBron's little keychain, got it dangling. You love that. Can we see that again, Jenny? Jenny, would you like to see that? Let's see it again.
Jenny's not here.
No, you.
You don't have any backup.
You kept recalling for it.
I am here.
But your day coming, I took the Clippers.
Wait a second. After all that phony baloney you spewed all over the table?
I took the Clippers 114.
What?
I took the Clippers 114, 111. All I'm hoping, Skip, I'm hoping that the Mavs keep this thing close until the final 5 minutes, and then I'm going to be on the edge of my seat, because I know you're going to fold.
You are hoping, you are praying, you are genuflecting to the gods above. Please help me tonight. Please help the Clippers blow another game so you can come in and gloat tomorrow.
Okay,
right?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yet you did not have the guts, you did not have the courage of your convictions to say, Clippers will lose tonight.
Give me the points.
You went right to the edge of the cliff, and you peered over the cliff, and then you saw,
Give me the points.
Clippers.
Give me the points. Give me the points.
Heck no.
What
You're out of your you-know-what mind. You are out of your mind.
Hello, you just told me.
I do not have the courage of my convictions about this team anymore, because I did not like or even love what I saw the other day. This is do or die for the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. This is win or go home, because they have no chance going to Dallas down 0-2. Everything the Clippers have built, everything they want to stand for, everything they have said they are, is on the line for 48 minutes tonight, and it will take all 48. It will not take 46 or 45. It will take 48 minutes. It will go to the last minute, and we will answer the question, are you men or are you mice? Because I saw mice.
Yep.
the other day on Saturday afternoon. I saw mice down the stretch. It was a tie game at 3 minutes. It was a 3-point game at 2 minutes, and you know the rest of the story. Your man Luka, Baby Bird, who I call Baby Sparrow, shot 2 air balls at the 2-minute mark, back-to-back air balls. Can we see those just to remind everybody? This is how clutch Luka is.
There you
2
go.
air balls. This is it. It's a 3-point game. Whoops. I think it might have ticked the bottom of the net on the way down, and that one missed by a couple of feet wide right. That's Baby Bird. That's Larry Bird Jr. Way to go, Luka.
Skip, you keep talking about how he missed but he was 5 of 11. But you do realize, like, before he missed those 2 in the fourth quarter, you know he had like 5. He was 5 of 7.
Okay.
So he had did a number.
Shot out of his mind. He's a career 33% three-point shooter.
Yeah.
But they came out and played mad because people like you and Chris Broussard accused the Clippers of tanking.
They did.
And Dallas took it personally, like, oh, so you want us? You got us.
Yes.
Watch what we can do.
Yes.
And they came out firing.
Rick Carlisle had
fire in their eyes.
Yep.
And it was one of those early starts at Staples, and the Clippers sleepwalked through the first quarter, and you know the rest of the story.
Hold on.
So look, here's the point. Do they have the talent? You know they have the talent. Do they have the depth? Sure they have that. They're the deepest team in the league. Do they have the coaching staff? Yes, they do. But do they have the do? Can they do it? Can they actually function under fire?
Do you have this?
Yes, I agree.
Do they have that?
I agree. Do or die, and I say tonight they do. I'm going 103 to 100, and guess who's going to take over from start to finish?
Who?
All the pressure is on the guy who wears New Balance, and this team better have some New Balance to it tonight because things are going to have to change. Kawhi is going to have to take Baby Bird right out of the box, and he's going to have to take him for much of the game. And he's going to have to give all he's got on defense and on offense because he needs to close this game.
He ain't built like that. There's only been a handful of guys that can give it to you all out effort on offense and defense. I know 3 of them off the top of my head. One of them is Michael Jordan. The other was Kobe Bean Bryant. And last but not least is King James, GOAT James. Those are the only 3 guys that I know that can give it to you all out effort for 40-plus minutes on both ends of the court.
Okay.
We ain't never seen Kawhi do that.
And I need 40 minutes out of another guy who can give it to you on both ends of the court. I need playoff Rondo. I need him to start. I don't think they'll start him.
Man, Rondo can't play no 40 minutes.
40 minutes of Rondo. I need playoff Rondo for all 40 on defense and
Skip, that man can't play that long.
I don't care what you say. This is it, man. This is like Game 7 right here. This is it.
Hold on.
Got to win this game.
Skip, you going to ask the man to go from playing 23 minutes on Saturday to go to 40 minutes?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Things need to change. Obviously, I need Paul George to shoot better than 2 of 8 from 3. I need Marcus Morris not to go 0 for 6 from 3 and miss 2 crucial free throws down the stretch. This team did lead the whole league in 3-point shooting and led the whole league in free throw shooting. Tonight, I need at least 15 threes, and I need 90% from the free throw line. I need it tonight. This is it. What you made of? Here we go. Let's find out. And I think you're going to find out they are made of the right stuff. It's just 1 game, but 2 games and 0-2 would be way too many. I'm sorry, this is it.
Well, damn, TLC, I ain't too proud to beg. You over there talking about I need 15 threes and I need all this. Well, damn, what else you need? See, you kept telling me the whole time, this team is the best 3-point shooting team in NBA history.
Well, that's a stat. That's a fact.
Okay, they're the best free throw shooting team.
Fact.
Let's see when the playoffs complete. Are they number 1 in shooting threes? Are they number 1 in free throws? Because it's a whole different type. I've seen a lot of guys in a lot of different sports be great in the regular season, but it's something about that anaconda-like pressure that comes with the postseason. And the finality of it, Skip Bayless, I keep telling you this. Oh, when they got together, the thing that I like about the Clippers is that they're more mentally tough. Kawhi, Paul George, Patrick Beverly, yada, yada, yada. They're so much more mentally tougher than the Lakers.
Yep.
And I can't tell. I can't tell.
I couldn't the other day either. I need energy and urgency from the start tonight. This is it. I need it for 48 total minutes. I need commitment. I didn't see any commitment.
Well, what you mean?
They came out like We got this.
Whoa. You tank for this. You've been rested. You should have been firing on all cylinders.
Yep.
You was healthy. Remember, I don't give to what Ty Lue say, I don't give a damn what they say. We chose health over record. No, you didn't. You chose to dodge Portland or you chose to dodge the Lakers. That's what you chose.
That. Kawhi, are you watching right now?
Yeah, I ain't watching.
You've been called out by this man. So we knocked the Mavericks knocked the rust right off us the other night. Now it's time. Now we're ready. Now we're rested, and we're not rusty anymore.
Luka.
Here we go.
I do not Luka. Look at Luka. That guy right there. That guy right there, the one that you said that was out of shape. That's him. They gave it to Kawhi.
I didn't say
gave it to Paul
George. He was out of shape.
He was out of shape.
His coach said he was out of shape.
Yeah, he was. But but don't worry about it. He said, don't worry about it. I can shoot the shape of this ball going in the hoop.
Really?
Yeah.
Air ball. That's what I see.
A triple skip. That man stay with triple doubles on y'all. With that great defensive team that y'all got. Paul George, Kawhi, Pat Bev, Serge Ibaka, all them guys that's been all defensive.
He'll get his triple double. I mean, when you got the ball in your hands 92% of the night, you're going to get it. I got it.
What is this?
Yeah.
Why you talking like this now all of a sudden? Oh, now all of a sudden he gonna get his triple double. How you gonna get a triple double with Kawhi on you? That's the claw. He's the best perimeter defender since Jordan. And got his sidekick, Paul George, who's Pip.
Luka Doncic scored 1 point in the fourth quarter the other night. Case closed. Thank you.
You do realize your guy went 9 of 22 from the field. He went 1 for 4 in the fourth quarter with 3 points. He was a -9.
26 and 10, not bad.
-9 in the fourth. Skip, you like the fourth quarter, right? He was -9. Is that good? I don't know. Now, if he playing golf, he'd have won the PGA. If he was -9, he'd have beat Phil. But in basketball, minus ain't good.
No, not good. Well, remember, Fox Bet does have the Clippers favored by 7. So,
now, give me the point.
Saying something. You guys
I tell you what, Skip, you know what, since it's you, Skip, give me 4, and I'll take the Mavericks. Give me 4 points, and I'll take the Mavericks now.
I just predicted 103 to 100. Why would I do that? What do you take me for?
Skip,
come on.
Trying to even the play field here.
You're not going to win another bet from me.
First of all, you're not the odds maker. You talk about what I take you for. You're not the odds maker. You can't handicap it. Give me the 4 points, and I do it right. The line is 7. I'm taking less than the line. Give me 4.
No, not today.
I just told you what's going to happen to go to the last drop
Shannon,
tonight.
Tried to help you.
Tried to help you.
I'm just trying to help you win back some duos out there.
I encourage my conviction. I just told you what's going to happen.
No mercy.
Tim Tebow is battling for a roster spot in Jacksonville at tight end, but one NFL insider might have some bad news. Albert Breer, in his Monday morning quarterback article, wrote that he can't, quote, find anyone who thinks it'll work. So, Shannon, please tell Skip why he is so wrong about Tebow.
Well, they found one that'll make it work, and that's really the only one that matters, and that's Coach Urban Meyer. He's the only one that believes it can work, and so he's giving this kid an opportunity, Skip. But I just think it was a bad idea for a guy that's been away from the game for 6 years. And I don't fault him. I mean, hey, somebody going to keep letting you try and do all these other things. I mean, if he doesn't make this, he'll try something else. Maybe he'll try professional soccer, or maybe he'll try, try to get on a bike and try the Tour de France. He's going to try something that he can still possibly be good at, which is, I don't see it happening. Skip, to have to learn the nuances of playing the position, to run a route, to catch the football, to block. You don't believe he's going to play the traditional position of tight end H-back. It's going to be more short yardage and goal line, direct snap it to him, maybe get inside the red zone and throw it, have him throw a jump pass or something of that nature. But Skip, at some point in time, he's going to have to come to the reality of it. Tim Tebow, you can make the case that Tim Tebow is one of the 5 greatest college football players to ever play college football. That doesn't automatically guarantee he's going to be a great NFL player, because we've seen great college players, Skip, be great at that level and not mount to a hill of beans at the next level. And that's okay. Everybody's not meant to, trust me. Everybody that gets a degree from Harvard doesn't work on Wall Street or doesn't have these thriving, booming businesses. That's just not how it works. So just because you were great in college doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be great at the NFL level. Skip, I just don't get it. Why would you want the attention? You got Trevor Lawrence, the first pick in the draft, and ain't nobody really mentioning him. All we doing is talking about Tebow, a guy that's basically, he's a sideshow. He's not in the Big Ten. He's a sideshow. I don't get it. And I agree with the insiders. I don't know anybody outside of Jacksonville that thinks this is a good idea, but only Jacksonville is the only thing that matters. They believe, and their execs believe, this was a good idea, but it's a terrible idea.
I cannot tell you how much I am loving this.
I know you are.
I'm loving the doubt. I'm loving the naysaying. I say, bring it on. I need more.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to come.
For me, this is 2011 all over again. When Tebow took the NFL on the wildest ride I think it's ever been on. And this is better because finally he's back with the only coach who really sees the rare value that Tim Tebow can bring to a football team, and that's obviously Urban Meyer. As I keep telling you, this will be the blueprint all over again of his freshman year at Florida, when all he was the catalyst for a national championship as the H-back, as the designated scorer for a Chris Leak offense in which Chris Leak was the franchise quarterback. He was the Trevor Lawrence, but Tim scored touchdowns like touchdown Tim only can. Jump passing and bulldozing. He did it with his will, and he's got killer will. As Urban Meyer said the other day, you will not find a more competitive maniac than Tim Tebow. He's only 33 years of age. He's been playing professional baseball the last 6 years.
He's been attempting. He ain't playing. Stop saying that. He was practicing.
All he did was make the all-star team at AA. And I'm going to remind you, what he did in 2011 was in spite of your man, John Elway, in spite of the coach, John Fox, who did not want him to play quarterback for the Denver Broncos. And all he did was play it at a very high level, because I think he showed you in a big body of work. He's one of the great clutch playmakers in the history of the league. You say he can't play. You say he's a bust. You say he's a joke. You say he's a sideshow. But I can just give you a quick walk back through memory lane, down memory lane. I can show you the clutch playmaking. It's spectacular.
No, Skip.
And it didn't happen for 1 or 2 games. It happened for a whole year.
Skip, I didn't say he was a bust. But based on what he did in college, his NFL career wasn't even close to what it was in college.
Okay, that's because he started 16 games for your Denver Broncos, and then, shockingly, almost inexplicably, he never started another game. No one ever gave him another chance to start because he's too outspoken about his religion. It's as simple as that. And he creates a media circus around him because he will, again, pour gasoline on that fire.
But it seems like it doesn't seem like Urban Meyer got a problem.
Well, Urban knows how valuable he Valuable, he just helped him win a national championship and then won another.
That was 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah, he's 33 years of age. So let's quickly look back at what he did for your Broncos. Remember, I said before the draft I'd take him bottom of the first round, and Josh McDaniels, who was your head coach at the time, took him 25th overall, and I said you have to let him run his Urban Meyer offense. Ride and decide, read option, mix in some pass plays. He's not a great thrower of the football. He'll never make a Pro Bowl, I said, but he will win games in the NFL. And what happened? Josh gets fired at midseason. Why did he get fired? Because he couldn't coach? No, it wasn't because he couldn't coach. He rubbed everybody in your franchise the wrong way. And then he goes to London and he goes Belichick in London and gets busted for it, right?
He did.
It was another illegal, what would you call it? Spying. Filming, okay? So all of a sudden, the man who picked Tim Tebow is gone. So they throw him into the fire late in the year. It was a 3-10 team at this point. And what did he do to Houston in a home game? He threw for 308 yards. The guy who can't threw for 308 and led a late, long touchdown drive that climaxed with him taking it in from 6 yards out, and they won 24-23 over Matt Schaub, who could definitely throw the football. And I said, that's pretty great, right? But no, Kyle Orton's going to start the next year. And he goes 1-3, and in the fourth game, which was also a loss of his fifth game, it fell to 1-4. What did Tebow do against San Diego? Remember that game when Elway said, "Oh, get him in, throw him in the fire"? Fox threw him in there late, and all he did was run 12 yards for a touchdown and then throw a 28-yard touchdown pass to Noshawn Marino, and they almost stole the game from the rival San Diego Chargers at that point. And finally, Elway said, "Okay, give him another, give him a start." It was the next week at Miami. And what happened? They tied the game with 15 seconds left because Tebow hit Daniel Fells with a touchdown pass and then ran for 2. And all of a sudden, it's 15-15. He wears number 15. I thought that was apropos. And then he leads a game-winning field goal drive in overtime. And here they go. They go out to Oakland, and he runs for 118 yards, and they win 38-24. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, guess what? The 1-4 team is starting to look like a hot team. And then what happens? He goes to Kansas City, hits Eric Decker with a late touchdown bomb to win that game 17-10. Then New York Jets, remember Thursday night? He bolts for 20 yards at the end of the game to win it at the buzzer. 20-yard touchdown run to beat them 17-13. I'm like, wow, here we go.
People,
okay? I'm just getting started. This is happening. You can't refute anything. This actually happened. This is some of the great clutch playmaking you'll ever see in the history of the NFL. And it just happened again and again and again.
The mere fact that you're able to put that man's lifetime accomplishment in the NFL on a sheet of paper. People at home.
That's the only opportunity ever.
No opportunity. He had no opportunity.
No.
He went to the Jets. He went to the Eagles.
Did he start a game for any of them? Nope.
That should tell you something.
Media circus. No, he's too much of a distraction. We got to get rid of him. Get rid of him. He brings too much media attention. The media hates him.
I know a lot of guys that are media attraction, but if they can play.
At San Diego, late field goal drive and led to overtime. And 39. A 39-yard pass and a 23-yard pass to force overtime, then won it in overtime. At Minnesota, he throws 41 and 21-yard touchdown passes to win a shootout, 35-32. Chicago, late touchdown pass to Demaryius, cut it to 10-7. Then he completes passes of 9, 11, and 19 to set up the tying field goal. Then a 10-yard pass to Demaryius wins the game. He's just throwing it like crazy, all clutch, all late game. I told you, QBR, last 5 minutes of that whole NFL year, he led the NFL in QBR because he can throw it when it's time to throw it.
No, Skip, you know why that's the case. Because teams started playing prevent. They weren't playing the same way. And
these are close games. All of them close games.
No, Skip. No. He was coming back because teams were playing prevent defense.
Oh, okay.
You know that. So stop it, Skip.
So then what happened? They played Pittsburgh in a home playoff game after they won the division and led the NFL in rushing thanks to Tim Tebow. And what does he do? He throws for 316 yards, including, we need to see it one more time. We got to see it one more time.
No!
Look at this. He throws a dart to Demaryius, and he's off to the races. He is going. He is gone. They win it in overtime. It might have been the greatest play in NFL history. I've never seen anything like it.
It was not the greatest play in NFL history. But I just want to know, it would be...
Look at this body of work.
It would be really good if everybody could be judged on their best from 10, 11 years ago, no matter what they're currently doing now. Just imagine what a great luxury that would be if everybody got judged on their best moments from a decade ago. Wow.
Well, his college coach got a pro job, and he said, I want some of that. I'm going to show you what I can do with this. Because this is a force of competitive nature.
I'm going to tell you what happened to his college coach. He keep taking guys that's been out of the league for 6 years and switching positions. He won't be an NFL coach for long. That's what will happen.
Please keep doubting. Please keep naysaying. Please keep ridiculing, because Tebow feeds off this. This is the perfect spot for him to get some revenge on all of naysayers.
Skip, he had an unbelievable college career. His NFL career
was an unbelievable NFL career. I've never seen anything like this body of work. I've never seen anything like it before.
Skip, 1 year?
Clutch. 1 year,
it's
game after game after game. He didn't do it twice. He did it again and again. They came back from 1-4 to win the division.
Skip,
who's ever done that before? Who's ever done that?
They won the division at 8-8.
So, 10, 12, 15 years from now, somebody will look at what he did and say, how did this guy never start another game?
Easy. And then they go and they pull the tape. It's like, oh, that's why.
He can't throw.
Consistently or accurately.
I see clutch pass after clutch pass.
Consistently or accurately. Consistently or accurately.
Interesting. Can he win football games?
That's a great, if everybody could stand on their resume from 10 years ago, you're going to look for a job like, oh, man, you know who I am? No, I want to see your resume. Man, this your boy. You remember what I did back 10 years ago? No, show me your updated resume. Can he show me an updated NFL resume?
Well, he's about to. Just watch and weep. You're going to have a long, hard football season.
No, I'm not.
You will. Watch.
No.
Short yardage, goal line, touchdown, Timmy. Here we come.
You ought to be.
Yep.
That's a great luxury to have, to be able to just, like, be out of the league. And you know what? Nah, that's not what I do. I was a running back. But you know what? I'm going to try myself. I'm going to try linebacker now. Man, they're like, man, if you don't get out of here.
Keep on keeping on. It's coming. It's okay.
No mercy, and I won't back down.
Chris Paul played through a shoulder contusion during the Suns' Game 1 win over the Lakers and said he'll be ready to play for Game 2 tonight. After practice yesterday, head coach Monty Williams said CP3 was a little sore, but the team felt like the point guard was in a good place. We're now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, how healthy do you expect Chris Paul to be, and how will that impact the outcome of tonight's game?
I think he'll be much better than he was Sunday. I don't think he'll be 100%, but I do think he'll be much better physically. You mentioned Monty Williams. He said yesterday also that he's feeling a lot less sore than he was on Sunday, a lot better than on Sunday. That was after yesterday's practice. And they were calling it a stinger, which you guys know a stinger can go away after a few days and doesn't even last that long all the time. So I think he'll get better over the course of this series, and I think he'll be fine pretty soon. And tonight he'll be, if he was 40% Sunday, maybe 75% tonight. So look, I think it's going to affect his shot. You saw his ball handling was clearly affected when he lost the handle. Chris is a guy that rarely turns the ball over, but he kept losing his dribble. I think he'll be more sure with his dribble. But the question is the jump shot. He can be effective out there with his leadership, his intelligence, defensively. He's talking. He's, a lot of times calling out the opponent's plays or what they want to do, his savvy, his experience. And I think the Suns get confidence just when he's on the floor. So I think he can be effective that way. But the big question is, what is his shot going to look like? If I'm the Lakers, I'm testing him. I'm getting physical with him, not dirty, but I'm getting physical any chance I get to test him. And if I'm the Lakers, I'm looking at double teaming Devin Booker and making Chris Paul score, making Chris Paul shoot, and also Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and seeing if they can do it. Because with Devin Booker, like, the Lakers don't have one guy they can put on him to slow him down.
Nope.
Like, his 34 points, I'm not saying he goes for that tonight necessarily, but that wasn't so much an aberration to me. I think DeAndre Ayton was an aberration. I think Anthony Davis will be much better tonight and be able to slow him down. The Lakers don't have that one guy on D-Book. So I would double him, get the ball out of his hands, and see where Chris Paul is with that shot. And if it's not going, that could be a good strategy. So I think the Lakers win tonight, even this series up. And Chris Paul is maybe 14 points. I don't think he has a huge game, but maybe 14 points, six or seven assists, something like that.
Yeah, Chris, I agree with you. The stingers come and go, but the one thing I do know, having dealt with stingers, is that a sudden jolt or a sudden hit, Skip, will bring it right back on. And so you see the way it caused him to get his head. It was like he hit Cam I think Johnson, then he pushed his head to the right, and it ended up having a shooting pain down his arm. For me, I agree with you. I'm going to test him. I'm going to see. I'm going to put his butt in the pick and roll. I'm going to hard pick him. I'm going to foul his butt. If I'm LeBron James, Chris Paul has showed me how important this series is, because he's willing to grab my arms and to block a hard playoff box out. I got no problem with the hard playoff box out. So guess what? I got no problem with hard fouls. I'm not trying to injure Chris Paul, but I'm going to foul him. I'm going to look at Chris for the next series, however long it goes. Chris Paul is not a friend of mine. We've never gone on vacation together. We've never had dinner together. Our families don't know each other. I'm treating Chris Paul just like I would anybody else that's in my way, that's trying to steal or take something from me. So that's what I'm going to do if I'm LeBron James. But I'm going to find out early on just how healthy that right arm, that right shoulder is of Chris Paul, because I'm going to put his button pick and rolls. I'm going to be up on him, Schroeder. And I'm going to double book. I agree, Chris. I'm going to get the ball out. If Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder, who shot 7 of 22, and they were 2 of 12 from the three-point line, if they beat me, hey, I can't stop everybody. But I refuse to let Devin Booker get going and let him cook me. And I expect Anthony Davis to do a better job of neutralizing DeAndre Ayton. He will not get outplayed. He got outplayed by DeAndre Ayton. He got out-hustled by DeAndre Ayton. And LeBron and AD cannot combine for fewer points than Devin Booker with 3 fewer field goal attempts. So that's not going to happen. So I'm taking the Lakers also. But I'm going to find out early on. I'm not going to feel out and let's see what Chris Paul. I'm going to find out early on just how healthy that shoulder is of Chris Paul.
You're going to beat up a poor man that's already hurt?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. He's 6 feet tall. Your guy's 6'9", right?
Yep.
He's right-handed. He will have little to no use of his right arm tonight, I believe.
Well, I'll make sure I'm gonna make sure he ain't gonna have no use of it because I'm gonna drum hard picks.
So my friend Chris Broussard says that Chris Paul was 40% on what day was it? Sunday. 40%? I saw 10%. Did you see 40?
Yep.
40?
More like 65.
He was slinging it like he slung in one shot. I don't even know how it went in. He couldn't shoot a lick.
He hit that big shot.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a big shot. He threw it from his side, right? He kind of threw it sidearm. Like it's the weirdest looking shot I've ever seen. He can't shoot a lick. Tonight, you say he'll be 75. He'll be lucky to be 40% tonight. Because what's his injury history? When he gets hurt, he just stays hurt. He's had a long litany of playoff injuries that last, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if he has that sort of mental toughness to come back from injury. I don't know what it is, but this was a mysterious injury. I still don't know what it was. Probably a stinger. Mm-hmm. But he'll be out there tentative, and he's obviously a dominant right-handed player who's going to have to play all left-handed.
Good.
So you don't even have to honor him. Just force him to shoot.
Yeah.
Like I told you earlier, just double off him.
Yes.
Double Booker every time he steps across half court. Make him give the ball up. Make him take impossibly tough shots. And dare Chris Paul to sling shots from wherever he wants to sling them from because he's got no shot tonight.
Well, good. But I'm still going to test him. I'm still going to put his button to pick. I'm going to set hard back screens on him. I'm going to pick and roll him. I'm going to do all that stuff to test that right shoulder. You said he was 10%. Well, I'm going to try to get it down to 5%.
Okay. Now back to your guy's man, LeBron James. Tomorrow, when I sit down here, I'm not going to give him a pass the way you gave him a pass for game 1 because that was inexcusable.
I didn't give it.
Okay, Phoenix scores 18 points in the fourth quarter, and LeBron is nowhere to be found. He's disengaged. He's unplugged. He's kind of uninterested. He didn't attack at all. He goes 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. That you can't have. If he's the best player on the planet and you hold the other team to 18 because their point guard and their most valuable player can't shoot, well, then you got to do better than lose by 9. They lost by 9.
Yeah.
That's impossibly bad. So tomorrow, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to critique LeBron the way he should be critiqued, and I think he'll have a bounce-back game. He better.
Hey, Chris, he gonna critique him in a win. I don't care but what kind of grade you give. We win the ball game. You give him an F, but we winning.
Well, you should win.
Yeah, I would be stunned. I'd be stunned, Skip, if LeBron comes out as passive as he was in game 1. And again, to me, that's his history. He's lost almost half of his game 1s in his career, just all series. And obviously, that's a lot of series. He was feeling the Suns out. You can question why. You can say he should have taken over in the 4th. But that has been a pattern for LeBron, so I think that's what he was doing. I think he'll be much better, much more aggressive tonight. I think what Shannon brought up about LeBron going at CP3, that's interesting. Because this is reminiscent, even though it's only in the first round, of LeBron, of Magic and Isaiah, when they would go at it in the finals. And you remember Magic threw the elbow at Isaiah.
He did.
Yes, to show him, look, this is a different level. And to show his teammates, this friendship is not going to get in the way of our championship. And that did hurt their relationship.
Yes.
Like, we know there was stuff later, but that was the genesis of their relationship kind of crumbling. And so I don't know that LeBron would do that. I think they'll get physical with him. I don't think he'd go at Chris like that. I think LeBron obviously wants to win and beat them, but I think LeBron's the type of dude that probably wants Chris to have a nice game, a good game, but lose. So I would be surprised. I would kind of like to see it. but I don't know if LeBron will do that.
But if you remember, you can't forearm nobody now. They're going to throw your butt out the game, Chris. They ain't like it was in the 80s. You do what they do in the 80s, the way the Lakers and the Celtics and the Pistons went at it. You get suspended not just one game. You probably going to get missed 2 games. But if I'm LeBron, I go back and look at the tape. You look at how LeBron looked at Chris Paul when Chris Paul was down there. He was down there checking on him. When he pulled LeBron down, he looked back there and walked the other way. Brian said, if I'm LeBron, I go get that chance. Oh, so that's how we doing it? Okay. I got some. I see it. I'm going to do his butt the same way. I'm going to do his. Couldn't be me.
He's hurt.
I don't care. What you thought I was laying on the floor when you yanked my shoulder down?
He was flopping.
Okay.
He was,
Chris Paul
melodrama.
Chris Paul
was
gonna be
drama king.
Chris Paul gonna be flopping because I'm gonna hard foul his butt right on that shoulder. I'm like, let him go down the lane, y'all. I got something for him.
Well, I got something for your man, the big penguin. He should be on ice tonight.
Nope.
Yep, it's over for Kareem Abdul-Drummond. They need to just put him in mothballs, get him out of the way, and let AD operate as the quote-unquote 5. It's on a silver platter for you.
Chris, have you ever seen anything like this? If AD plays bad, it's Drummond's fault. But when he crushed DeAndre Ayton just 2 weeks ago, Drummond was on the court. When he went to Portland and dropped 38 and 16, and even though they lost, Drummond was on the court. It's when he goes 5 of 16. He shoots 6 of 20. It's Drummond's fault. But when he had these monster games, don't nobody mention Drummond. Drummond like, well, what the hell did I do?
He got in the way.
But the numbers show, Shannon, that Davis is much better without Drummond on the court. Now, Sunday he wasn't good with or without Drummond. But over these, have they been together a month or 2, whatever it's been?
Yeah.
He's been better with Drummond off the floor. And I'm with you. I've said their strength, and it's the same thing against Phoenix. They can go big. If they're going to go big, then play big.
Right.
But they go big, and then they play finesse. So if they're going to be a finesse team, I would rather see AD at the 5 or even Marc Gasol, because Gasol's going to be out on the perimeter, and that'll allow AD to be inside. But AD's got to get closer to the paint.
Thank you.
Much more often than he has been. So I do think Drummond, look, he can start. We can see how it goes. But they got to pull. I don't expect them to play 25 minutes tonight.
We didn't play 25 minutes the other night. If Drummond's not in there, who going to rebound?
Give him 17.
Who going to rebound?
AD
and LeBron.
You just saw the rebound.
They got out-rebounded by what? 14?
Yeah, you just saw those rebounding numbers.
That's ridiculous.
You told Chris, I remember you and I had a conversation. AD need to give us more than 3 rebounds. AD needs to give us more than 2 rebounds. And you were talking about now all of a sudden he might go start rebounding. Drummond gonna get them boards. 7 offensive rebounds, that's what Drummond did. And when he was off the court, look what Ayton did. Ayton.
No mercy.
Game 2 of the Clippers-Mavericks series tips off tonight in L.A., and the Clippers will be looking to do a better job of slowing down Luka Doncic, who went for 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists in the Game 1 win. Kawhi and Paul George will be looking to even up the series after the duo struggled shooting the ball, going 3 of 14 from 3 in Game 1. Chris Broussard still joining us this morning. Chris, is this do or die for the Clippers, and do they do or die tonight?
It's absolutely do or die. I do not see the Clippers bouncing back from a 2-0 deficit, going back to Dallas to win this series. So I do think they've got to win tonight. If they were to go down 2-0, first of all, there'd be ample evidence that Dallas is just better. Remember last year, Dallas took them 6 games with Kristaps Porzingis missing the last 3 games. So if they were to win the night, go up 2-0, I think the evidence would say, Dallas is just better than the Clippers, especially when they're healthy with Porzingis. And I think Luka is the best player on the court. He's the best player in this series.
What?
So I think you'd have that. Also, I don't think the Clippers are mentally tough enough to come back from this 2-0 deficit if they go down 2-0. So Kawhi, we know he's a great player, but he's not that big of a leader. And his championships have come when he hasn't been the leader. He's been the best player, at least in Toronto, but he hasn't had to be the leader. And here, even though they've got Rondo and now you got Serge Ibaka, They need more leadership from Kawhi. So if they're down 2-0, I don't know that he can rally them like that. And Paul George, we know Paul can get in his own head too much. He can think too much. He can overanalyze. And I think if that in that type of deficit, they wouldn't be able to rally from it. That said, I expect the Clippers to win tonight. I picked them in 7. I thought it would be a tough series, and I think this will be a long, drawn-out series. They win tonight, and I'm sticking with my pick of them in 7. I want to see Kawhi. Obviously, it's do or die. I want to see Kawhi go to Ty Lue and say, look, give me Luka. Give me Luka. And the best you can, fight over the screens and try to stick with him. They obviously going to try to get the mismatch and put him in pick and roll and get Zubac on him and all that. But they've got to try to fight over screens. If Kawhi is not able to guard Luka an entire series and still be effective offensively, fine. But tonight, you got to do it. And if you win tonight, then take off of him on the game 3. But tonight, you need Kawhi plugged in on Luka. And you can put George on him as well, obviously. They're both great defenders. So show it against Luka. And the big thing, guys, offensively, the Clippers were 11 for 40 from 3, 27% in game 1. That is not who they are. They led the league in three-point shooting this year, 41% from three-point range. So I expect them to get back to who they are. I don't think they're like this historically great three-point shooting team, but the numbers show that they were this year. So I do think they'll shoot it much better from 3, and that'll enable them to even this series up at 1-1 and stay alive.
So if they were to lose tonight, that would be 5 straight losses that they've had in the playoffs. And now I remember last year, Chris, you and everybody else said the thing that was going to separate the Clippers from the Lakers is mental toughness. They were going to be the more mentally tough team. Kawhi, PG, and Pat Bev.
Got that dog in.
Oh, yeah. And now all of a sudden, Chris, you thought. You thought, okay, Now, Chris, you also said now, this team was the best three-point shooting team in the regular season, right? And you said they were the best free throw shooting percentage team in the regular season. Is there more pressure in the playoffs or the regular season? Because we've seen guys be great in the regular season and not so much in the postseason. Could we possibly be seeing that again? That the pressure and the expectations. You see, Kawhi had no expectation. Nobody thought he was going to do anything in Toronto. That's why they shipped his butt to Toronto. Now, all of a sudden, you go there. This thing detonated like an earthquake. We had 2 earthquakes that day. Somebody was talking about, Chris. We had 2 earthquakes that day. But the one that hit around 7:30 that Friday night detonated across the NBA.
July the 5th. Yeah.
And all, Steve Ballmer, he came out there like a drum major, leading Paul George and Kawhi. He up there, boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Oh, and they're holding up the jerseys, 2-1-3. We back. We this, we that. And lo and behold, and here we are 2 games into the playoff, and we already talk about do or die, Skip? Really? Is that your champion? Is that your champion? He can't do anything with Luka. Watch how hard he try to fight over those screens. He ain't gonna try to fight over those screens. He don't want the problem with Luka. Paul George don't want. The 2 best wing defenders since Jordan and Pip can't do anything with Luka. Luka. Come on, Skip. Your day coming. I've been telling you about this. You've been hoping for this. They want your Lakers. They want your Lakers. That destiny that you wanted, that you thought was going to happen in the championship game? First round. I'm here for it, too.
Today is your day, Shannon Sharpe. Tonight is my night. I am sick and tired of talking about the Los Angeles Clippers.
Me too.
Everything you said is correct. Everything Chris said is correct. But I'm sick and tired of hearing it. It's one game, and they stunk, and they lost. It's one game, and they collapsed down the stretch, even with playoff Rondo on the court for the entire fourth quarter, all 12 minutes, they collapsed. It was a tie game at 3 minutes. It was a 3-point game at 2 minutes, and they collapsed and lost by 10. You got me right now. Now it's time to see what you are made of, Clippers. Are you men or are you mice? Are you that team or are you not? As Chris Broussard suggests, maybe you're just not that good. But I believe in you. And I believe that the best player on the court, Luka Doncic, baby bird, I believe with all my heart and soul that I watched him score only 1 point in the fourth quarter the other day, and the Clippers still fell apart late and lost by 10. He scored 1 point. He shot 2 air balls on 1 possession. I've never seen that before. Have you ever seen Larry Bird? Do you remember Larry Bird shooting 1 air ball, let alone 2 in 1 possession? But he shot 2.
I saw Kawhi do it.
He shot 2 in 1 possession. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. There he is. He's making shots now.
Yeah, you see him making shots, yeah.
Oh, well, wait a second. That one missed badly. This is a 3-point game with 2 minutes left. Whoops. That was like 3 feet wide right. That's Larry Bird Jr., really? So, look, all I know is I believe in the Clippers' talent. I believe they're the deepest team in the league. I believe the leader of this team is Ty Lue, and he can't play tonight. He can only coach.
Right.
And yet, in the end, can they do it? Can they actually step on the floor and take care of business the way I know they're capable of? Can they be mentally tougher than Baby Bird and the Dallas Mavericks and Hardaway and Finney Smith and Jalen Brunson, who just took the game over the other day? It wasn't Baby Bird who hurt him. It was those 3 guys who just cooked him because they came out playing mad because they said, you tanked to get us, you got us. Watch this, okay? So I need urgency. I need serious do-or-die energy from the tip. I need Kawhi on Luka from start to finish. I need Rondo on the floor for 40 minutes. Shannon's laughing at me, but 40 minutes of playoff Rondo because I believe he can settle them down and put them in the right positions to win the basketball game when it matters. I need more repetitions. The rust is gone now. You're rested. You have no excuses. It's time to shine, and I believe they will. They will win a close game 103-100 tonight, and here they will go.
Hey, Chris, can I ask you something?
I don't know if I want it that close.
No, I do.
We know the Clippers.
I do want it that close.
You know, it'd be good if they could win it that close.
Yeah.
That'd be nice because that might help them mentally.
Yes.
But they also fall apart down the stretch.
Okay,
But yeah,
we'll see.
I'm with you, Skip, on most of that. I mean, it's hard to overstate the importance of this game.
Okay.
This is like a game 7 because, again, I don't think they can come back down 0-2. If they lose this game and go on to lose the series, I think the team will look much different than it does, next year than it does now. I don't think Kawhi will leave. I think he wants to be home. Where else is he going? I mean, but Kawhi's got his legacy is not on the line because he's only 29. He's got years left. But Shannon's right. When he won that championship and the finals MVP in San Antonio, you said it, Skip, it could have went to any number of the Spurs. I mean, they just dominated the series. He played well, but he was a 4th guy on that team.
Exactly.
4th guy behind Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. In Toronto, there were no expectations, not to mention how injured Golden State was.
Mm-hmm.
So Kawhi is showing, at least it looks like right now, that, yes, he's a great player, but he can't lead your team when the expectations are there, when the pressure is there, when from the beginning of the season to the end, people are expecting you to deliver a championship. He's showing that he might not be that guy.
I'll give you the Mavericks for 5 cases
this is
tonight.
Huge.
Mavericks,
tonight.
straight up. Got the guts, got courage. Mavericks,
Man, that's
5 cases right now. Right here, right now.
Hey, Kawhi,
Mavericks, 5 cases.
Kawhi, when he get them expectations, all of a sudden, he's smaller than Chris Paul.
You guys are...
He went from 6'8.5" to 5'10".
You're talking big and bad, but then you pick the Clippers. I don't get it.
Well, hopefully Kawhi don't give you another 3-point virtuoso in the fourth quarter. You think you could avoid that?
You taking
I'll take the Clippers for 5 cases right here, right now.
Give me the points.
No points.
Give me 4.
No, I just picked it 103
That's all
to
we
100.
got. We're out of time.
No mercy.
Sunday, the best NASCAR season ever continues as the Cup Series returns to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Coca-Cola 600. Coverage begins with race day on FS1 at 4:30 Eastern, then continues at 5:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Well, Aaron Rodgers did not show up to the Packers' organized team activities, but we have finally heard from the quarterback in an interview. The Green Bay QB said, quote, anything is on the table at this point. And then he continued that it has never been about Jordan Love, his teammates, or his coaching staff. Instead, Rodgers said it was, quote, kind of about a philosophy. Shannon, what jersey will Rodgers be wearing opening day?
What a jersey I hope he's wearing. They got a great philosophy. And they'll listen to you.
Oh, I know.
That ugly orange color.
Ugly. It's my favorite color.
Sorry.
Not a Packers jersey. I believe there's a greater chance he's not in the Packers jersey than he is, Skip. And, we keep hearing all the mentions about Denver. But Denver has a nice, look at the wide receiver, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, Tim Patrick. They drafted Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. So they got a nice offensive, surrounding. Defensively, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Pat Surtain, Shelby Harris. They got a nice defense. And we know Vic Fangio, who Aaron Rodgers played against for a number of years when he was the Bears DC, he knows what he represents.
Wait a second. Patrick Surtain would be going to the Packers.
No, it wouldn't. Hold on. They did not ask you to negotiate.
Surtain and a 1.
That's not what they said. Who said that?
Yeah, I said that.
Exactly. You just mad because the Broncos.
I'm mad.
They took him before
the
Cowboys, Skip. I just think the thing is that he's still upset. Now, we can say it's not about the quarterback, but I believe the quarterback was the straw that broke the camel's back. I believe there are a series of events that happened before that, and that was the big final event that says, okay, enough of this. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all not listening to me. Y'all don't care to hear my input in this situation. So, and it seems to me everything is pointed towards June 1st. Because that's when they can spread that $31 million over 2 years as opposed to just having it going on this year. So I believe that's going to be the drop. They say a drop dead date. I believe the drop dead date is June 1st, June 2nd. We're going to know something here. When is the 1st? Next Wednesday? I think next Wednesday because the day is the 20th. Next
Monday is Memorial Day, right?
Yeah. So next Tuesday. We'll know something, Skip. It's going to start brewing and get a little louder over the weekend. So that's going to be the drop dead date, June 1st, next Tuesday. So I just don't, Skip, listening at him talk, there's a lot of things that I believe that is beyond repair in this situation.
Gut feeling, he will be wearing what color jersey?
Naturally.
Opening day. Well, what's your gut? Not your wishful thinking. What's your gut tell you?
I'm going to say Broncos. I'm going to go Broncos.
Seriously, Broncos?
Broncos, yeah.
What I would love to happen is that they would call Aaron Rodgers big, bad bluff. He's been bluffing for the whole offseason. He's been on a tour of bluffing, and just ship his butt, his golden tail, to Denver and see how he likes it. Just see what happens, because last time I checked, Pro Football Focus ranked Devontae Adams the #1 receiver in pro football. #1, really?
And after this year with Jordan Love, let's see where they rank him at.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. You might want to call somebody bluff. You play poker. I believe he's bluffing, and you call his bluff. But you bluffing also. But his bluff might be better than yours. So be careful. Be careful.
Maybe they know his tell now. Maybe it's Oreos, like in Rounders, right?
Okay. KGB.
Teddy KGB, right?
Yep.
Cha, right? Okay. So I do wish they would call his bluff, because the other thing I'm going to remind you is that Pro Football Focus ranks Aaron Jones the 4th best running back in pro football. My guy Zeke's like down at 97.
Well, who did Pro Football Focus rank as the best quarterback in football?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Yeah, off his regular season, not his post.
Okay.
Just his regular season. Okay. He is a regular season wonder. He's like what you say the Clippers are. They lead in three-point shooting and free throw shooting, but they gag in the post.
But he's won something.
It's gag city for Aaron Rodgers in the postseason.
He led the Packers to something.
To what?
Super Bowl, you know it.
Once.
Yeah.
It was 10 years ago.
But, not 10 years ago. That seems like a long time. But when you keep bringing up Tim Tebow from 10 years ago, that seemed like just yesterday.
Well, he couldn't help it. They shunned him. They banned him from the league, and he went to play pro baseball.
They didn't ban his butt.
Well, they did. So here's what my gut tells me. Aaron Rodgers all along has wanted to finish his career in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I believe he will be wearing Packers, green and gold?
Green and gold.
Green and gold, opening day.
Did you think Brett Favre wanted to finish his career there? Yes, he did.
I assume he did.
But guess what?
Yeah.
It seems like that's the cutoff. Broussard, 16 years. Brett Favre, 16 years. Aaron Rodgers is at 16 years.
Okay, but his whole offseason, Aaron Rodgers has been dedicated to sticking it back to the pack.
Yeah.
And he's got him on the run.
Right.
All those comments.
Why do
on
I need?
ESPN?
Hold on. Why does Aaron Rodgers need to give y'all an update of what he's doing? When you hired Matt LaFleur, did you call Aaron Rodgers?
No.
When you was traded up to get Jordan Love, did you call Aaron Rodgers?
No.
When you shipped up, when you fired his position coach, Van Pelt, Alex Van Pelt. When you let Kumaro go, when you left Jets Janis, when you went and re-signed Jordan Nelson, when did you call Aaron Rodgers? Now, the man can't keep you off his property. He should put a sign up, no Packer personnel allowed.
No, that's exactly what he wants. He wants them to crawl back to him.
No, we don't.
And they are starting to crawl.
Then we move away from you. We're not in Green Bay. If we wanted you to come over to the house, we'd stayed in Green Bay. We are in Hawaii having a good old time.
So the ESPN comments were directed as a direct message to Mark Murphy, who oversees the Packers as the president of the kingdom. He operates as the owner. And the message is, you got to get rid of the guy who doesn't fit, and that's Gutekunst.
Right.
And I believe Aaron wants the coach that Gutekunst handpicked, Matt LaFleur. I believe he wants him gone also. I think he wants the decks cleared. And as he said, we need to bring back the culture. You need to kiss my golden tail and treat me as a living legend, just the way Lombardi was treated as a living legend. And then, as he said, Favre was treated as a living legend. And the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, was treated as a living legend, right?
He was.
And it's time, treat me like Bart Starr was.
Treat me.
Yeah, all of them. And yet, he's 7-8 in the postseason since his long-ago Super Bowl. He's 1-4 in NFC Championship games. And he stunk up the one that he won against Caleb Haney in the second half.
He won it, though. But
He barely won it by
here's the
default.
thing. It seems to me that Aaron Rodgers has lost trust. He doesn't have trust in the Packers organization. Now, trust is like Humpty Dumpty. Once it's broken, they couldn't put it back together, could they?
Well, what did he say? I threw a wrench into your
Yeah,
plans.
he let it. So Aaron Rodgers knew what they were shaping up, what they were lining up to try to do. They were trying to get to this point, Aaron, you get us through last year, this year, and when you got no more guaranteed money, we're going to unceremoniously release your butt. But he said, you know what, a funny thing happened on the way to y'all playing. I foiled it.
Well, he fooled it in the regular season, then he didn't live up in the post.
But that's why I believe you should let him go. That's why you should let him go, because he didn't live up to it in the postseason. So let him go. Why you flying, burning up the Packers shareholders' money, flying to and from Green Bay, Wisconsin, out to California to meet with Aaron Rodgers? Let him go. He's not worth it.
I'm sure they can afford those.
No. Why you want to afford it? Don't waste no money. You don't waste.
Well, hasn't he been begging through the offseason for a new contract?
He ain't been begging nothing. He had it in L.A. He got him a new boo thing. He booed up in Hawaii.
Why not he's booed up in Hawaii? I've never seen anything like it. So he posts all that crazy video from Hawaii with Shailene Woodley on the day of OTAs that he's traditionally always attended.
So?
Okay.
Well, he ain't attended this year.
Just turn up the heat.
Keep your little stinking $500K. I don't need it. I'm going to get more than that.
Yeah, he will. He will.
And as a matter of fact, if I were to happen to re-sign, which I won't, I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and give me that $500K that I missed out on, because that's what it cost for the jet and me and my baby to go to Hawaii.
Want to bet he will re-sign 3 years guaranteed. It'll be some extraordinary amount of money.
More than that.
It will guarantee. Well, it better be, right? And it
might be $50 million a year.
It will guarantee that he'll be the starter for the next 3 years, and Jordan Love will be kept on ice for 3 more years.
I mean, you seem sad about that.
Well, I think Jordan Love, I just have an intuition he can play. Again, I wouldn't want to see him thrown into the fire next year in place of Aaron Rodgers. Well, it'd be hard, right?
No, why it'll be hard?
A lot of pressure.
No,
see Cam Newton in Foxborough last year.
I know my homeboy. Look at my homeboy. 1 year, he was in the starting job, in the MVP. 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. That's what he did.
Over Alex Smith. Way to go.
Josh Allen. Look what he did his second year.
Who'd he replace? Fitzmagic?
Don't matter.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If you that dude, they traded up to get him, right?
They did.
When you trade up to get somebody, it better be that.
I think he is that dude. It's just going to take a little time.
Okay, do they have that kind of time? Aaron Rodgers is on the clock.
No, he's got him on the run, is what he's got.
Yeah, y'all tried to stall him out. He said, nah, bruh. Y'all know what y'all need to do to make it right. Make it right.
No mercy.
The race in the Eastern Conference is heating up. The Nets and 76ers both got Game 1 wins over the weekend, and the Bucks blew out the Heat last night by 34 points to go up 2-0 in their series. That game was crazy. The Nets have an opportunity to also go up 2-0 on the Celtics tonight and find themselves as nearly double-digit favorites according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. So, Shannon, from what you have seen so far, are the Nets still the best in the East?
Yeah, they are. Now, if you're going to tell me that the Bucks going to make the amount of threes that they made yesterday and Bryn Forbes going to come off the bench and can't miss his first 4 threes, yeah, I'm going to say, okay, it'll be great. Because if you look at it, Skip, Milwaukee has 3 guys that can score the basketball in Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday, and they got 3 guys that can defend at a good level, the same 3 guys. But, man, KD, Harden, and Kyrie, that's just another level. You know, on average, Skip, they're going to get you somewhere between 60 and 90 points between those 3. You know that. If one of those guys go cold, the other guy can go get 40 at the drop of a hat. 2 of them go cold. James Harden goes off and gets you 50. Or KD goes and gets you 50. Kyrie can get you 50. So they're going to, now, if you're going to tell me Milwaukee's going to play like this, Giannis is going to play like this, I would say, Skip, you might be in for a 7-game series. But even that the case, I'm not taking anybody coming out of the East or Brooklyn. Because what I've seen, Kevin Durant is as efficient as ever. Kyrie can still dance on you. And even though James Harden didn't have his customary scoring output, he's still impactful. Nah, I like what I saw from the Bucks. They look better these first 2 games, Skip, than they did at any point in the last 2 postseasons. Yep. But the Nets on a different level right now.
They're on such a different level. They are now the best team in basketball. They just are. From what I saw in Game 1 against Boston, I was in awe of. Mm-hmm. They're everything that I want my Clippers to be tonight, because these guys move the basketball the way my Spurs used to move beautiful basketball play, where they share the ball like crazy. Mm-hmm. In fact, these 3 superstars share it so unselfishly, it's almost to a fault. Like, you want it, but they just move it like crazy. And don't underestimate, I know they didn't shoot it well the other day, but Joe Harris can just shoot the lights out. He's a 3-point shooting champ, obviously. And when you can play Bruce Brown and Jeff Green and obviously Blake Griffin, you have some defensive force on your team that I think is very underestimated. They attacked Boston the other day and just took Boston out of everything Boston did. And they switch 1 through 5 like crazy. Right. They're as unselfish on defense as they are on offense.
Especially when you play Jeff Green at the 5, you really can switch everything, because he'll guard he'll guard everything from 1 through 5.
Speaking of Jeff Green, I loved what he said after the game. He said, "There's been so much talk about our defense. People saw that when our shots aren't falling, we were able to focus on defense and get stops." Right. Well, they got a whole lot of stops because Jason Tatum had a long, hard afternoon. Or was that a day game or a night game? It seemed like it was a day game.
Late afternoon. Yeah. But here's the thing, though, Skip.
Yeah.
If Tatum and Kemba struggle like they did in the second half, well, they got no chance. I don't think they got a chance anyway. Jason Tatum's going to have to play his best stretch of basketball, and we've seen him score 50 points 3 games this year, like in the last month. We've seen him do that. We know what Kemba can do. But minus Skip, Jaylen Brown, they kind of handicapped. They can't get that kind of offensive punch from anybody else. Smart's he's more of a defensive guy. Yep. Fournier is good. Fourier is pretty good, but he's not going to really go get you 30 or 40 like Jaylen Brown could. So they're seriously undermanned, and they're not a defensive team. So how do you guard that? You can't score enough, but then you not only can you not score enough, you can't stop them. That's Boston's problem.
So I think they're very underrated on defense. All year long, you have been skeptical about their ability to play defense. They have the ability when they choose to play defense. So the other day, KD goes 1 for 8 from 3, and Kyrie goes 2 for 8, and James goes 2 for 8, and they shoot as a team 23.5%. Right. And it did not matter. Yeah. Because KD still got 32 and 12 rebounds. That's pretty good. And James still got 21, 9, and 9. That'll work. And Kyrie got 29. But more important, in the fourth quarter, when it was time, Kyrie goes 4 of 5, made 1 of 1 threes, made his only 3 that he took, and made all 4 free throws and scored 13 in the fourth quarter. And guess who pulled away in the fourth quarter? The Nets did. Nothing but Nets.
Skip, that's the thing about it. They shoot poorly from the field for the first 3 quarters, but they got 3 guys that can turn it on. We know James Harden can get hot and go get 25 in a quarter. We know Kevin Durant can turn it on, and like you said, he struggled from 3, but he might go 5 of 5 from the 3 this game.
He might.
And Kyrie can dance. We know Kyrie's a closer. He can dance with anybody. So that's what you're up against. Not only must you be able to go probably get 120, you better be able to play some lights out defense. And when they're missing shots, you better try to get as far ahead of them as you can. Because when they start making shots, you're in trouble.
So Kyrie suggested they don't need a coach, but I got to say, for a rookie head coach, Steve Nash is pushing the right buttons. I think it seems like it's working. Maybe they don't listen to him.
Hey, you know what? He's like, hey, who want to play with James, Steph, and James, Kyrie, and KD tonight? Who? You, Jeff? Okay, you in there. Bruce Brown? You okay? You in there? Joe Harris? You up tonight?
Blake, you want to play?
Yeah, exactly. When you got those 3 guys, Skip, it's not hard to fill out the rest of the
Claxton, you want to play some?
Yeah.
You can get 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. But he is pushing right buttons, and they look like a real live basketball team that shares the ball on offense and shares all the assignments on defense.
I think
they're playing at an extremely high all-around basketball level.
The biggest thing, James, the criticism, he's selfish. He can't play. He want to just ball hog. He's showing you that he can play a style of basketball if he has players that he trusts. Kyrie, same thing. I'll share the basketball if I have somebody I trust. And KD has always been able to share the. He just left the place that all they did was share the basketball.
Yep.
So
I'm never sure whether Kyrie feels like playing or doesn't feel like playing, but when it's time to play, he does play.
He played. That joke, man. Kyrie been unreal. I mean, I've always loved Kyrie's game, watching him when LeBron went back there and just watching like, man. But just to watch him now, I mean, you look at Kyrie now to where he was then, it's night and day. And he was an exceptional player then.
He was.
But I'm not so sure, Skip, if Kyrie was what he is right now, back then, I don't know, Skip. I don't know if it might have been more of a series with them in Golden State. They might have went 7 games.
Maybe.
No mercy.
Tonight on FS1, 2 teams with a little bit of history collide as Mookie Betts leads the Dodgers against Jose Altuve and the Astros. The coverage begins tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. So after the Lakers' Game 1 loss, Anthony Davis took all the blame, saying he missed too many shots and they can't win a series if he plays that bad. LeBron likes what he's hearing from his teammate and said, quote, I love when AD puts that pressure on himself. When AD is AD, then we're the Lakers. So, Shannon, right now, who is the best player on the Lakers?
Skip, is this a trick question?
It's
No, it's
not.
a real question.
Real question.
Yep.
Skip, you know who the best player is. Always has been. LeBron understands that he's the best player. He understands he's the most important player, but he knows also in order for them to win a championship and be the type of team that they need to be, Anthony Davis needs to be Anthony Davis. AD averaged 28 and 10 in the playoffs last year. 28 and 10. On Sunday, he gave us 13 and 7. What are we going to do with that, Skip? So LeBron is saying in order for us to be what we want to be, AD has to be that. But LeBron also can't give us one of those performances. So LeBron is going to be... So I believe in this situation, they'll try to get AD going first. That's normally what they try and do. They always try to... AD normally takes the first shot, unless it's a wide open 3. They try to get AD going. But LeBron knows in order for us to win this series, in order for us to win a title, Anthony Davis needs to give us what he gave us last year's playoff. And so LeBron has built his playoff career on being consistent. AD is still trying to figure this thing out. So I'm not concerned. You shouldn't be concerned either, but you know who the best player. How can the best player on the planet not to be the best player on his own team? I figured out.
That's a great question.
If somebody can tell me that.
I have no answer for that question because the harder I look, the more I think the most valuable Laker is Anthony Davis, not LeBron James in year 18 at age, what is he now, 43, 44?
Yeah, don't do that. You know AD.
Okay, so the point is this. I'm going to reread this quote. when AD is AD again, we'll be the Lakers, said LeBron James. Well, so you go as he goes, right? That in Anthony said after the game, usually I come out of the games, come out of the gates very dominant. Well, he does. That's how they go. Like and tonight you'll see it because he'll come out of the gates.
Yeah.
He'll go right down and make a 12-foot jump shot, or he'll dunk on 8, and something will happen early where you'll say, uh-oh, he came to play tonight.
You're right.
And LeBron needs to feed off that. It's not like LeBron is the tone setter. He's the tone setter.
Skip, the thing is with LeBron knows I can get my shot. LeBron can bring the ball up the court. That's not AD. AD needs somebody to feed him the ball.
Okay, but what did we see the other night? LeBron tried to be the table setter, tone setter, right? He makes, what did he make? He
made 2 threes. He made his first 3 shots.
And a jump shot.
Right.
So he scored 8 points in the first 4 minutes of the game. Wow. And AD said, today, I kind of got lost in the offense because I didn't have to be assertive early, and then he wasn't assertive late.
Right.
So once he didn't get into the RPM of the game, he was useless.
Right, because the thing was, like, LeBron, you're like, oh, LeBron feel it, so let me stay out his way, let LeBron shoot it. Then LeBron was like, no, let me get everybody else involved. But you'll see a different guy tonight. Like I said, the first game, he normally is like, okay, double team. Are y'all bringing the double team? You didn't bring the double team. Okay, this is what y'all do to set. This is how y'all run the... Okay, so now... Put it right there.
Okay, so Chris Broussard points up that of LeBron's game ones that he's played in his whole career, he's lost half of them. Really? So is there strategic advantage to losing so you can sort of feel out your opponent? Is that what he does? Or?
Well, I mean, if all things being equal, if he can feel out the opponent and still win, he would love to do that also. But it's not the end-all, be-all. And that's the difference, Skip. That's why it's so much harder to win a championship in football. Because guess what? You lose game 1 in football, guess what it is? Your season's you're gone. So even though LeBron might lose a lot of his game 1s, he normally comes back and win the series.
Who made the shot of shots in the bubble for them?
Oh, my goodness.
It was almost ready to be 1-1 Denver. Remember that?
Yeah.
Against Denver?
Yeah.
Remember that? And who made the shot of shot? That was the biggest shot in the playoffs, was AD saving LeBron. The play was called for LeBron, and what did Rondo say? I locked eyes with LeBron. He did not move.
And it was a great decoy. Because if you notice, Plumlee he's imploring Jeremy Grant, go, AD's coming, go. He's like, I'm not leaving, go. Because I know go to hit this game winner.
The play was called for a quote-unquote GOAT, but AD saved him by looping completely around to the far side, and Rondo says, I got to get it to AD, and AD shoots it like mad at the buzzer and makes it and saves. That saved the whole series.
Decoy.
Yeah, decoy.
Yeah. Then you have brothers, then y'all like play games, you know, I would play, I like go ask my grandma, look.
Yeah, AD is the man now.
I'm not saying AD is not the man. I'm not saying AD is not a great player, but he's not. Skip, stop. You know LeBron is the GOAT. So how you not going to...
I know he's the GOAT.
Yeah, you know he's the GOAT.
You might bring a goat in here.
No.
That might work.
No.
All right. Well, we all know AD is going to be better than what we saw game 1. And I like those words from LeBron because he expects it as well.
No mercy.
And according to Pro Football Focus, Trey Lance could make more noise than even Trevor Lawrence during their rookie seasons. PFF said that if Trey Lance were to start week 1 for the 49ers, he could, quote, cruise his way to Rookie of the Year honors within this offense. And Skip, you have been saying this all along.
Shannon, I did first guess this. I said before the draft, Kyle Shanahan should take Trey Lance, and he did.
Right.
And I said the next day he should start Trey Lance over Jimmy Garoppolo because the kid will be ready to start. And I believe he will start him from game number 1. And I believe he will, as Pro Football Focus, your favorite website, says, that he will cruise to Offensive Rookie of the Year, just as Robert Griffin III did under the Shanahans in Washington. So Pro Football Focus has merely confirmed what I've been trying to explain to you.
Skip, if the slate was wiped away like it was for RG3, Jimmy G is there. He has a 2-year head start. Jimmy G is not a bad quarterback, Skip. He can't stay healthy, and he's turnover prone. I do believe he'll have a short leash. I believe that Jimmy G starts the season. But If he gets off to the rough start that we know he's capable of having, I don't believe they have a problem. I believe this kid is in the best situation because I trust this offense and I trust Kyle Shanahan more than I trust anybody else that's calling the plays in their offense. But I don't believe he starts week 1. But playtime does matter. Justin Herbert, Skip, remember he started week 2 and then he cruised to the offensive rookie of the year.
Way to go, Kyle.
Oh, way to go, Kyle. Skip, if that happens, we will have heard it here. Guys, that is it for us. Skip, Shannon, enjoy those games tonight. Lakers, Clippers,
Let's go, Lakers.
wishing you all the luck. We'll go over it tomorrow. The herd is on now.
Catch the L, Clippers.
Skip and Shannon, skip